Developing right now on Morning News Now, fear and uncertainty in the U.S. and around the world as President Trump's sweeping global tariffs take effect. This morning, Wall Street bracing for massive market sell-off. While in Washington, the pressure is on for the president to pull back.
America is going to be very rich again very soon. You're going to see that happening.
We're watching global recession take hold because of the boneheaded policies of one person.
I don't like the thought of waging a trade war with the entire world, and that's what we're doing right now.
We have team coverage with what's happening now, what could happen next, and what it all means for you. Also, livelihoods in limbo this morning. Thousands of laid-off federal workers still without jobs after the Supreme Court halted a ruling to reinstate their positions. We'll bring you the latest. Plus, scrolling safely, Meta extending its efforts to keep kids safe on all of its platforms. A look at the restrictions they're rolling out for some of the youngest social media users. And something to sneeze at. It's that time of year again, but now, does it feel like your allergies have gotten worse? You're not alone. We'll sniff out why and what you can do to get some relief. I certainly am in the camp of my allergies feeling worse. Good morning. I'm Savannah Sellers. Joe is off this morning. Thank you very much for starting your day with us. And it's a busy one. We're going to begin our show with a new chapter in President Trump's unfolding trade war. Overnight, the president's latest package of U.S. tariffs targeting dozens of countries went into effect. Among those countries hardest hit is China. Get this, it now faces a massive 104% levy. The move is threatening to upend the global economy and raise the price you pay for everyday goods. It's also prompted many economists to raise the odds of a recession. Now, the tariffs continue to send shockwaves throughout global financial markets. This morning, here's where we're at. Asian markets closed in the red, while European markets are currently trading sharply lower. We've got a team standing by to talk about all this and more. We're going to start things off with that global reaction to these tariffs, specifically in China, with NBC News international correspondent Janice Mackey-Freyer, who joins us from Beijing. Janice, good morning.
China is showing no sign of backing down from an all-out trade war, and neither is President Trump. At midnight, U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods soared to 104%. That's on everything from clothes and shoes to toys and tech. Duties on other countries are also kicking in, 49% on Cambodia, 46% for Vietnam. These are key hubs for American companies like Lululemon, Nike, and Apple. Japan and South Korea are sending trade teams to the White House to seek some tariff relief. But no country is more targeted than China, long considered the world's factory. Last year, sending over $400 billion in goods to the U.S. China has retaliated with rounds of tariffs and restrictions of their own, likening the Trump administration's global blitz to blackmail. President Trump overnight also tripled duties to 90% on small packages under the de minimis rule, that duty-free loophole that helped the rise of retailers Shein and Temu. So those cheap goods from China are going to cost U.S. consumers more. And these are the sort of things used in every American home. Target deals with 2,500 factories here. 80% of all toys in the U.S. are made in China. Now, the Commerce Ministry here today said the country has a firm will and abundant means to fight a trade war with the U.S., and they're hinting at more countermeasures. There's also a lot of anger over comments that Vice President J.D. Vance made in a Fox News interview about Americans borrowing money from, quote, Chinese peasants. The U.S.-China rift is now a sensitive issue on Chinese social media. Censors are encouraging discussions around comments like America is fighting a trade war while begging for eggs, but hashtags describing heavy tariffs or using 104% are now censored.
All right, Janice, thank you so much. Let's now bring in NBC News senior White House correspondent Kelly O'Donnell and our business and data correspondent Brian Chung, who's been all over this. Good morning to both of you. Kelly, I will start with you. How's the president defending these new tariffs, especially, of course, particularly the one on China, this massive 104% duty on any import from that country? What are we hearing from him?
Well, good morning, Savannah. The president is using the force of his personality and his office to go all in on a policy that broadly he's talked about for decades. And in his time in office, has been making some adjustments, but now the full force of what he has described, at least for this moment, is in effect today. So the president is saying that what he is doing with tariffs will do several things, that it will bring money into the U.S. Treasury, which can be used for important things that he sees that could include extending tax cuts. He's talked about trying to bring manufacturing back into the United States. That's a much longer term play. And he talks about wanting to have a more level playing field with nations around the globe. A lot of anger from the president at what he frequently says is the rest of the world harming the U.S., being unfair to the U.S. The president has been defending his policies. Here's part of what he had to say.
We have a lot of countries coming in. They want to make deals. We've had talks with many countries, over 70. They all want to come in. Our problem is can't see that many that fast. But we don't have to because, as you know, the tariffs are on and the money is pouring in at a level that we've never seen before.
So one of the challenges in what the president is saying there is that he acknowledges that you can't do bilateral negotiations with dozens of countries all at the same time if you're going to have high-level representatives from the administration carrying that out. We already know that the Treasury Secretary says publicly that he's engaging with Japan. The president's also said while he believes in flexibility, he views these tariffs as permanent. So it becomes harder to see where does this actually land, what sort of carve-outs or side deals could take place while the markets are roiling and while the global economy is trying to understand what this will mean, how it will affect them. And there are frayed relationships with U.S. allies and adversaries on all of this.
Brian, let's bring you in here. You know, we've been asking this question a lot. When are consumers going to feel this? What is it going to feel like? Will they bear the brunt of this cost? Let's talk about it today, now that this has gone into effect, and specifically, just you think about the sheer volume in number and also in type of item that comes from China. 104%. What's that mean for the consumer?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that now that these tariffs are in effect and these additional levies are official, anything that comes in and gets offloaded from a boat, let's say at the port of Los Angeles, well, that's now subject to that 104% levy if it's coming from China. It wasn't the case necessarily, 12 hours ago. Now, right. I want to point out that that's the big distinction here. If it gets offloaded today, that's when it's subject to the tariff. So it doesn't have to be manufactured today. Basically, beginning as of a few hours ago, companies can say, all right, you know what? I now have to pay this added levy. I'm going to pass that cost on to consumers. Now, how long it gets passed on to consumers is going to be different by industry. The automotive industry, for example, where the auto tariffs actually took effect late last week, we were hearing from some dealers that it might not be until a few weeks from now that they would have to pass on those costs to customers. The reason why? Because they already have cars on their lot, and the cars that they brought in, they paid for prior to the tariffs. So they don't necessarily feel that pressure to add the thousands of dollars in estimated costs to those that are trying to buy a new truck or to buy a new car. But they said it's a matter of weeks, not necessarily months, which means that potentially, Savannah, 2 to 3 weeks from now, those same trucks, those same cars on the lot, which may have been imported since the fact, that could get more expensive. But again, when it comes to electronics, when it comes to things like clothing, those are all things that are likely to get more expensive because of the Chinese tariffs. If you see a good deal now, maybe not the worst thing to buy.
Absolutely. Brian, also, what are you watching as we're waiting for the market to open today? Yesterday, bumpy ride once again. What do we think? Yeah, well, looking at market futures right now, it seems like things are just kind of bumping around. It's basically about flat, which tells us that we don't really know which way this market could open up once it opens up at 9:30 Eastern time. But I want to point out that yesterday, it looked like market futures were going to take everything higher. It was deeply green on everything. It was a color we had not seen in a number of days. S&P 500 was something up like over 3%, and then we ended the day down substantially. So the volatility in the market is very much there, and we'll have to see what happens. Brian, Sean, Kelly O'Donnell, thank you both very much. Well, one of the stated goals, right, of the Trump administration's trade war here, it's to bring manufacturing jobs back to the U.S. But how possible is that on a large scale? NBC's Yasmin Vasugian takes a closer look.
As the president digs in on tariffs,
jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country.
Ridicule pouring in on social media, with memes going viral. We don't know where exactly they're coming from, but this one, an AI-generated video crudely showing Americans doing factory labor, raising the question, is a manufacturing renaissance in the United States possible? And would it provide jobs that people here want?
If we mean sending us back to that world in which manufacturing was a third of U.S. employment, there's just no way that would happen.
Could we reindustrialize the economy and add millions of working class jobs? Absolutely.
Clearly plenty of disagreement. So what would it take? Let's rewind to the 1970s. Back then, nearly 20 million people in the United States made their livings from manufacturing, accounting for more than a fifth of total employment. The U.S. was a leading producer of everything from cars to planes to steel.
So it was a really big deal for the U.S. economy. And what made it an especially big deal is that those jobs paid really good wages, and that allowed workers with just a high school degree or not even a high school degree to attain a middle-class lifestyle.
But then globalization, starting in the 80s, NAFTA in the 90s, China joining the World Trade Organization at the turn of the century. It all shocked the system. Cheaper labor abroad meant lower prices and closed factories here.
What we call the China trade shock.
Now manufacturing employs only about 8% of the nation's workers. And to give you a sense of the wage gap, on average, manufacturing jobs make $35 an hour now. In Vietnam, for example, that rate is about $1.20. Many economists who study these massive trends are skeptical about the ability of tariffs to turn back time.
We want to think about how to create good jobs for the workers of the future. We should be having a substantial focus on how we do that in the service sectors that are vibrant now and that are likely to emerge in the coming years.
But many in the domestic manufacturing industry believe in what President Trump is doing.
We are now, I would argue, in a bipartisan era that tariffs are an important tool in the toolbox for industrial strategy and to reshore domestic production.
He acknowledges we won't be able to make things as cheaply as they do in China or many other countries, but thinks the job creation is worth it. However, many of the manufacturing jobs of old were dangerous, dirty, and difficult. Across the economy, 38 workers a day died in the U.S. in 1970. Now the number is less than half that. There's also concern about the potential environmental impact.
Even if we're able to bring more manufacturing back to the states, our environmental laws are there for a reason, and it's to prevent what we saw at the turn of the 20th century with cities that were cloaked in smog, with rivers that caught on fire, with toxics leaking into our water supplies.
Other things that are different now. From America's post-war industrial age, union membership was more than a third of the workforce. Now it's about a tenth, and tax rates on the wealthy were above 70% in 1980, and now are about half that.
We are shedding excess labor in the federal government.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent telling Tucker Carlson that government employees losing their jobs now could work in factories.
That will give us the labor that we need for the new manufacturing.
Which brings us back to the memes. Will office workers really want to hit the factory floor? The industry saying bringing those jobs back will spur innovation and automation, leading to better manufacturing jobs.
If you talk to any person that runs a factory that's a CEO of a company that produces in the U.S., they will tell you that innovation happens closest to the factory floor or on the factory floor. Are we going to have, new technologies making the processes better, more streamlined? Absolutely.
That's if the factories are built, the jobs are open, and the pay is good enough.
Yasmin Vasugian, NBC News.
Well, the Supreme Court has stepped in and paused a federal judge's order that about 16,000 federal probationary employees, they're from at least 6 agencies, they were laid off by the Trump administration, be reinstated by their agencies. That's been paused. NBC News Now legal analyst Angela Sanadella joins us for more on this. Angela, good morning. So the court's ruling, it's based solely on claims brought by some nonprofit groups in a California case. But overall, what does this decision mean for these employees? I mean, our viewers probably know we've been talking about it so much. Feels like every day there are just like dozens, if not hundreds, if not thousands of federal employees who have been cut because of the Department of Government Efficiency. What does this ruling mean?
Okay, so here's the thing. When there is a big action or issue like this that affects people all across the country, it's not uncommon for there to be different lawsuits brought in different jurisdictions from different parties. So what happened here is that in California, 2 different groups, one, unions of these employees, and then 2, nonprofits who felt that they were being harmed as a result of this action, brought this lawsuit. The Supreme Court's order exclusively is limited to whether or not those nonprofits who brought the lawsuit have standing to sue. Now, it might seem like standing is just this random technicality, but it's really important, right? It is what limits whether or not you or me can be sued by anyone in this country, whether or not they were affected by us, right? So what the Supreme Court said here is that these nonprofits in particular were not harmed enough by the government's actions. And so as a result, they reversed the temporary restraining order, which means that the ruling that said these individuals had to be reinstated no longer applies. But that said, as I originally said, there are lawsuits across the country that doesn't necessarily impact them entirely because there's other litigation moving.
In fact, there's one I wanted to ask you about in Maryland. Tell us about this one, specifically the fact that that required employees to continue to be paid, to be unpaid administrative leave.
Yeah, so this ruling in Maryland is a result of a lawsuit that was brought by actual employees. So there's not necessarily an issue of standing. And the judge there ruled that these individuals who were affected had to be reinstated so long as they live in 19 states. So there's likely overlap between the individuals who would have been affected by the California order and then also if you lived in those 19 states that were also affected by the Maryland order. So those individuals will have their job back temporarily with paid leave until the litigation really resolves. Because this is all just about temporary action as well.
Right.
There's been no rulings with finality about whether or not these claims are legal or are going to be approved ultimately by the Supreme Court.
It's really just still a mess and impacting literally thousands of people. Okay, I also want to ask you, while we've got you, about the Associated Press, the AP. So they had been barred from covering White House events. This is because they had not changed their style to, say, the Gulf of America. We all know what happened there. Yesterday, a federal judge ordered the Trump administration to lift that ban. What should we know about this ruling? And also, do we think the Trump administration will abide by it? Do they have to?
They do have to abide by it, but they can also certainly appeal it, right, which you expect. But what the judge ruled here is that this was a constitutional violation of the First Amendment. Why? Because of two things. One, that the AP was obviously getting limited access. Two, because, as you said, it's a direct result of their editorial decision. So that meant it was viewpoint discrimination, which then qualifies as a violation of the First Amendment. And look, obviously administrations have always given more or less access based on a number of reasons. So they're not saying that administrations have to give total access to everybody, but just if it is directly linked to an editorial decision, as seems to have been the case here, that is unconstitutional.
All right, there you go. Angela Senadella covering a lot for us. Thank you so much. Good to have you. Well, the calendar, it may say April, but it is expected to be a cold winter-like day in some parts of the U.S., like this one. And many people also are still contending with the impact of severe weather. Dawson Springs, that's in western Kentucky. It's continuing to deal with leftover floodwaters following strong storms there. Look at these videos on your screen. Over in Arkansas, crews are cleaning up debris, repairing power lines, and assessing the damage after a round of storms in that area. No one was seriously injured, but several homes were damaged by fallen trees. We are going to keep following all this and get a closer look at the effects of these days' worth of severe storms, the return of some cold temperatures, what's on tap for today with your Morning News Now weather. Angie Lastman's here. Hey, Angie, good morning.
Hi, Savannah. Good morning. We got it all covered for you, and there's multiple things that we've got to talk about, and some of them are overlapping across the same region. So let's start with, of course, all that heavy rain that we dealt with last week and into the weekend, still leaving us with these river flood warnings up across a good chunk of the country, specifically the Ohio Valley, Tennessee Valley, and stretching down to the Mississippi Valley. That's where some of these rivers are still dealing with the cresting happening likely today. But you'll notice that these moderate and even major flood stages could potentially in some of these spots last until Saturday. So we'll see this ongoing flooding across this region. That is not likely to let up here in the short term, but we will see some improvements beyond this upcoming weekend. We've also got a whole lot of freeze alerts up. Spring is nowhere to be found for the eastern third of the country. We've got 56 million people under freeze warnings, frost advisories. It includes Baltimore, Raleigh, Lexington, Birmingham, Huntsville, and even New York City. And these temperatures are feeling quite brisk. We've got some feels like temperatures into the 20s for Pittsburgh, Detroit, Chicago, waking up to 32 degrees for your actual temperature in Cincinnati. And even as far south as Asheville and Raleigh, our temperatures, the actual ones are into the 30s. Atlanta feeling like 41 degrees at this point. This is what it's going to look like for the morning hours, and we get a little bit of an improvement as we head into the afternoon hours. It'll still remain unseasonably cold for this section of the country. Big difference, though, if you look west. We've got 70s, 80s, and even 90s across this region. We'll see the potential for some record highs possibly here as we get into tomorrow across parts of the southwest. Phoenix is going to be one of those spots that hits nearly 100 degrees for their actual temperature. And then this kind of moderates out here as we get into the weekend, and we'll see some spring highs getting back into the picture for our friends across the east. Chicago's is one of those spots. Mid-60s by Sunday. We've got 80s for Kansas City by Sunday. We go from the low 50s on Friday and Saturday in Pittsburgh to the low 60s by the time we wrap up the weekend. As far as rain and snow is concerned, we've got a couple of these little systems that are going to dive across parts of the Midwest. This does bring a little bit of rain and a little bit of snow to the lower Great Lakes today. And then as we get into tomorrow, we could see some of these stronger storms ramp up, and they do include areas across the country that have been dealing, of course, last week with the severe weather and the ongoing flooding. Memphis is one of those locations that's in that risk for some of these stronger storms, so we'll watch for that for tomorrow. And otherwise, a bit of that cold rain and that wet snow kind of working across parts of New England. By the time Friday rolls around, much of this moisture works up into the northeast. This will be something that we see here as this system intensifies across this region. Savannah, back over to you.
A lot to watch for and good safety information for folks there. Thanks, Angie.
Got it.
There's much more to come here on Morning News Now. Later this hour, a new feature on Instagram made specifically for teens. The latest innovation meant to keep kids safe while they scroll. But up first, after the break, a night out turns to tragedy in the Dominican Republic. What investigators are saying about a roof collapse that killed dozens of people at a popular nightclub. We'll be right back. We are back with a new proposal the Trump administration is weighing this morning to combat criminal drug gang activity at the southern border. According to 6 current and former U.S. officials, the administration is considering launching drone strikes on drug cartels inside Mexico. The move is part of an effort to combat the trafficking of narcotics across the southern border. NBC's Justice and Intelligence correspondent Ken Delaney has more.
Armed drones are among the most precise and lethal weapon systems in the American arsenal. 6 U.S. officials briefed on the matter tell NBC News the Trump administration is considering using drone strikes against the Mexican drug cartels that are importing deadly fentanyl into the United States. The officials told us no final decisions have been made, and they said the administration is hoping for Mexico's cooperation. But they say it has not ruled out unilateral action. Acting Drug Enforcement Administrator Derek Maltz told me in a text exchange this week that all options should be on the table because drug cartels have killed more Americans than Al-Qaeda and ISIS. The Mexican president, responding to our reporting,
Nos coordinamos, colaboramos, no nos...
We've always said we do not agree. First, because we're not in agreement with any military intervention, she says, adding it would not solve anything. President Trump paved the way for military action when his government designated Mexican drug cartels as terrorist organizations and authorized surveillance flights by the CIA over Mexico.
What can you tell us about the CIA drone flights over Mexico? Is this the next step in the war against the cartels?
Well, we're going to see.
We recently spent a day with the DEA in the Phoenix division, where 60% of the fentanyl enters the U.S.
So this is our drug vault.
And where a top DEA official says the new intelligence gathered by the CIA has been helping.
So now we get the intelligence community involved and the Department of Defense, and all of us working together can target and eliminate the threat.
With tens of thousands of Americans dying each year from fentanyl coming in mostly from Mexico, the idea of American military action against drug cartels has long been contemplated. Even fictionalized in the 2015 film Sicario.
What are the rules of engagement? Weapons free, my friend.
Drone strikes could target cartel leaders, their security forces, and their manufacturing facilities. Similar to how the U.S. used Reaper drones in the Middle East and South Asia. This Taliban drug facility in Afghanistan destroyed in a split second by 4 500-pound guided bombs. But many experts say U.S. military action without Mexico's consent would spark outrage in Mexico and cripple cooperation. They also question whether it would work to stop the flow of drugs. U.S. drug warriors say it's time to raise the cost to the drug cartels.
Cartels at their root are evil, and they don't care. It is based in greed. We are collateral damage to them.
Our thanks to Ken Delaney for that report. Well, several U.S. officials told NBC News that they believe the Trump administration may be able to secure Mexico's agreement to conduct limited military strikes, adding if Mexico stopped cooperating with the U.S. in the drug war, it would be a huge victory for the drug lords. Well, the death toll is rising in that tragic roof collapse at a nightclub in the Dominican Republic, and among the victims, 2 former MLB players. NBC's Matt Bodner is following that and other world headlines for us. Hi, Matt. Good morning.
Savannah, good morning. The death toll in Santo Domingo has risen dramatically since yesterday, with authorities now saying that at least 113 people were killed by the collapsing roof. More than 150 more were injured. Among those killed were former MLB relief pitcher Octavio Dotel, who died on the way to the hospital after being pulled from the rubble. Another former MLB player, Tony Blanco, was also killed, as well as Governor Nelcy Cruz, sister to former MLB All-Star Nelson Cruz. The president of the Dominican Republic has declared 3 days of national mourning. Moving along now to the United Kingdom, lawyers for Prince Harry told a court that he was, quote, singled out for different, unjustified, and inferior treatment when a committee downgraded his security detail in 2020. This, of course, was the year that Harry stepped down as a working member of the royal family. This is Harry's second attempt to appeal this ruling, and his lawyers argued that an official committee that decides on security details for official VIPs made its decision at the time without an expert assessment of the risks that Harry and his family face. The hearing continues today, largely behind closed doors. And we'll wrap up this hour in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. A rare blue diamond was put on display yesterday as part of an exhibition showcasing $100 million worth of the world's rarest diamonds. The diamond was shown on a ring and is described as a Mediterranean blue diamond, and it's one of 8 diamonds on display. The total weight of the jewels is over 700 carats. The collection includes red, yellow, pink, and also colorless diamonds. But pride of place went to the blue diamond, which is expected to auction for about $20 million in May.
Wow.
Back to you.
I don't think I've ever seen a blue diamond. I guess that's kind of the point, right? All right. Matt Bodner, thank you very much. Coming up, dangerous game. Experts sounding the alarm on what they call a growing crisis, the new warning about sports gambling. And it's sneezing season. That's right. Allergy season is in full bloom. And researchers say climate change is making it worse than ever. The eye-watering new study and what you can do for relief. Your weekly checkup is next here on Morning News Now. Welcome back. Now that March Madness is over, so is one of America's biggest betting events of the year. An estimated $3.1 billion were wagered on the men's and women's tournaments over the last few weeks combined. Well, now there are growing concerns about just how prevalent sports betting has become, especially true when we're talking about young men. NBC's Erin McLaughlin has the details.
When online sports gambling went live in Ohio at the start of 2023, Vic Coley says he, like a lot of young men, started placing bets on sporting events through apps, occasionally for small amounts and for fun.
It was the new legal thing to do. Everyone was talking about it. There were advertisements everywhere.
He had no idea how serious a problem the gambling would become for his close friend Xavier.
He only showed me times he made money and when his bets won.
Though the reason for his death can't be known for sure. 2 days after 28-year-old Xavier placed this $10,000 sports bet and lost, he took his own life. NBC News is withholding Xavier's full name at the request of his family for privacy reasons.
He was a bit frugal with his money. You know, we'd go out for drinks and he would only want to go during happy hour because there were deals.
In 32 states plus D.C., placing a bet is now as simple as opening up an app on your phone. Research shows nearly half of all high-risk problem gamblers are between the ages of 18 and 34, and twice as likely to be men. That same study from Rutgers University, which notes nearly half of those surveyed who bet on sports did so before it was legal, found that 20% of high-risk problem gamblers have attempted suicide.
I felt like I was just in the dark, hiding from myself.
Rob Minnick says he went into debt 6 times over the course of 6 years before finally handing control of his bank account over to his mom and getting help.
Would you say you had a severe gambling addiction?
Absolutely. When I say severe, I'm talking gambling 8 hours a day, compulsively betting, waking up thinking about the bets that you placed the night before.
Minnick now works full-time as an advocate to stop what he believes is a growing nationwide crisis.
I think we're going to see huge rates of bankruptcies, huge rates of divorces.
And at what point do you think people in this country are going to wake up?
When enough people have killed themselves.
The American Gaming Association tells NBC News that legal gambling is far safer than the alternative, saying nearly 2/3 of American adults reside in a legal jurisdiction for sports betting that delivers robust regulation, affords consumer protection, supports responsible gaming initiatives, and offers problem gambling services for those who need it. Xavier's family showed us records indicating he'd lost more than $40,000 in just 17 months of betting. Some of those high-stakes bets seemingly encouraged by a concierge service from an online sports betting company, including text messages to Xavier from a VIP host account manager, offering him free game tickets with club access, additional protected bets, and advice for ways to deposit larger cash amounts into his betting account.
They don't know the person. They just see it as another download.
A year after his death, his phone still gets texts promoting bets from online gambling sites. Erin McLaughlin, NBC News, Philadelphia.
Really important reporting there. Well, if it feels like your allergies are getting worse every year, you might be right. A new study shows that climate change is not only lengthening allergy season, but also causing plants to produce more pollen. Isn't that lovely? Plus, there's new evidence that losing weight could help more than your heart and your waistline. So let's get into all this in your weekly medical checkup. We are lucky to be joined today by NBC News medical analyst, our friend Dr. Vin Gupta. Great to have you on set. Always good when you're in New York City. Thanks for coming by. Okay, let's start on allergy season. I am totally feeling this. It is just like absolutely killing me. It feels like it's getting worse. It feels like it's lasting longer. Turns out that might be true.
Yeah, this is not good news, to your point. As it gets warmer, frankly, warmer temperatures means more pollen. It looks like trees, as it gets warmer, are spreading more pollen in the environment around us, Savannah. And weather events, hurricanes, other, thunderstorms, also spread it. So there's just more pollen out there because our plant's getting warmer. What does that mean from doctor's orders? It means things that you can do. Wash your clothes, wash your hair more often because that's where pollen really gravitates towards. And make sure you have medications ready. In some cases, there's over-the-counter medications, Savannah, Zyrtec, things like that. In some cases, though, you might actually need to see your primary care doctor and get a prescription if things aren't really abating.
I'm not kidding. Like, my throat's itching just because we're talking about this. I think I'm like, okay, also this other one I mentioned, diet and exercise, things that are good for your heart, good for your weight, but also maybe good for your bones.
Yeah, that's right. So sometimes the fear is that if you overdo it on exercise, especially in this study focused on women and women over 65 especially, that if you overdo it and you have a caloric deficit and you do it too fast, that maybe you're going to lose critical vitamins and minerals that your bones need. And what the study found was that if you mix up resistance training with strength training and you slowly reduce your caloric intake on a Mediterranean diet, so over time reduce your caloric intake
always the Mediterranean diet.
I mean, that's always the answer. ABCD, it's always Mediterranean. I found that you actually maintain bone strength while getting all the benefits of weight loss. And so that's why you want to take it slow. Caloric deficit is helpful, and mix in resistance strength training, but go slow.
All right. Good news there. Okay, finally, if you're starting to have some knee pain, is that right? There's a study that just shows how impactful, how helpful yoga can be. Is that like instead of other types of fitness, or what's this study say?
Yeah, it's very kind of similar to the prior study in the sense that resistance training coupled with yoga, so mixing it up essentially. There are more 3 1-hour sessions per week, and yoga could improve your muscle and joint strength. But the idea here is it could complement or it could substitute for traditional workouts.
Right. Strength training is also good.
Strength training is also good, but really the focus here is low impact. If you're feeling knee pain, that can be really helpful. So vary your workouts, and from a doctor's orders perspective, focus on low impact. That's always a good idea, even starting younger than 65.
Very interesting, because sometimes I do yoga, I'm like, well, that didn't do much, did it? That's how I feel, but maybe it is. Okay, Dr. Gupta, great to see you. Thanks for coming by. Well, coming up, the new Minecraft movie will show you the chaos unfolding from coast to coast. This is Morning News Now. We are back with a look at how much your wallet could be impacted in the wake of President Trump's new tariffs. Now, we've been talking about this a lot, but let's get specific. Experts say the price of a pair of sneakers, for example, made in Vietnam, could jump by more than 40%. How about the latest iPhone? That could spike $350. But to illustrate just how dramatic these spikes could be and tell you why it's happening, top story anchor Tom Yamas focused on one single product, Nintendo's highly anticipated Switch 2 console coming this summer.
They got to figure out what they're going to get charged. Do they charge 50% more? Do they charge double? Do they even ship them?
The current price for the new Nintendo Switch, $449. Ironically, to keep prices down, Nintendo had moved some of its Switch 2 production to Vietnam because of earlier tariffs on China. But Vietnam is now facing its own 46% tariff.
How much of this is made in the U.S.? None of it.
None of it. The reality is, for these tariffs, it is a gut punch for every electronic. Nintendo being the first case because they're early in terms of the Switch. This is basically an economic Armageddon coming to tech.
Ives says moving production to the U.S. isn't a realistic option.
How much would it cost them to start manufacturing switches here in the U.S.?
Tens of billions of dollars.
Billions? That's because of a supply chain that's been built over decades.
It would take 4 to 5 years to even build and get done a factory here in the U.S. And the reality is the assembly, the supply chain's in Asia. If you just build a factory here in the U.S., where are you getting all the parts from? Still in Asia.
Nintendo says it remains on track for a June 5th release.
In your estimation, how much of what we buy is going to go up?
90% of what we buy as consumers living in the United States is going to go up. And I think the U.S. consumer doesn't realize the storm that's coming, but they'll be seeing it over the coming weeks and months in those prices.
Tom Yamas, NBC News.
Our thanks to Tom. What an interesting look. Well, Meta is rolling out new safety features. It says will create a more age-appropriate experience for teenagers. And now this is across all of its platforms. The company just unveiled teen accounts on Facebook and Messenger yesterday. This is after introducing them on Instagram last year. They're also adding some new built-in restrictions for Instagram teen accounts, adding more, I should say, over the next couple of months. Some of the new features aim to make it more difficult for kids under 16 to disable these safety settings without their parents' permission. This comes, of course, as social media companies are facing mounting pressure from parents, also from Congress, to address complaints that their products are addictive and harmful to the mental health of young people. More, let's bring in Dr. Jenny Radesky. She's an associate professor of pediatrics at the University of Michigan Medical School and really an expert in this area. Dr. Radesky, we love when you join us. Thanks for being here. So first, can you just tell us, high level, some of these new features, what exactly it is that Meta's announced and what you think could or might not work about them?
These features are in addition to the teen accounts that were rolled out in September. So in September, they announced new ways that they were going to put teens who maybe falsified their ages into teen accounts that had protections against contact from strangers and some content restrictions. So they weren't seeing more sensitive stuff like plastic surgery or violence. The additions that they just announced are no live streaming for under 16. So that's appropriate. It's appropriate for a young teen not to be kind of performing for the whole world. And also that they were rolling out some of these features to Facebook and to Messenger, which some teens are on as well. And finally, they're also blurring out nudes. And this is when they're sent to a teen on a direct message. They're not going to be able to see the nude picture. And there's restrictions on whether they involve their parent in making the decision about what to do about that. So these are appropriate. There is still the limits on who can contact teens. There's limits on live streaming, so kids can't be broadcasting their every impulse to the world. And there's also blurring out of nudes, which teens say they really don't want to have that sort of unwanted photos. So those are all appropriate. And now these protections are on Messenger and Facebook as well. But what these protections don't address is some of the core things that keep teens on longer or contribute to compulsive use. And these are things like a frictionless feed or having the sorts of social quantification like likes or shares or other things that we know build those habits of teens wanting to come back to social media again and again.
Right, which could really be more fundamental changes to how these apps work in the first place. Right. I want to ask you a quick question about the live feature, because for people listening, they might think, oh, that's kind of random, that they take away live. But what's interesting to me that I've learned recently is that that's actually a way, and I think this is important for parents to know, for predators to communicate with young people. I love that you use the word performing, almost like a young child is doing something on there. A predator can be watching that. It's kind of an easier function within the app to communicate with someone you don't know. So that's a good thing, right? That's no longer going to be a function if you're in these teen accounts.
Completely agree. Yes. And it also, young teens don't always recognize the potential downsides or pitfalls of a stranger watching them on a live stream. They tend to be more concrete thinkers, so they think, yay, more friends, more followers, that means I'm more popular. They don't realize how many of those followers could be adults with bad intentions. And so this is really a nice protection just to make sure this isn't even a temptation for young teens to try to be performing for everyone.
The other thing that Meta kind of announced with this is 97% of kids 13 to 15 saying they've kept their safety features on. That's according to the company and a poll commissioned by them. But let's talk about that, because that is, of course, a concern, right? Okay, all these companies can do these big, great things for kids, but if they just know a way to get around them, if they just have a password where they can essentially pretend to be their parents and turn them all off, it's not going to do very much. How do you think this app has done in that regard?
I think it's not a surprise that teens are sticking with default features. We know from lots of research that if you set default settings, most people don't dig into the settings to change them. So I'm happy that they're showing those positive results. We need to know more, though. We need to know what effect are these sorts of settings having on teens' everyday mood, on their sleep? How much time are they still spending online? Are these time limits actually working? Which lots of teens tell us they don't. They just kind of dismiss those little reminders to get off after an hour. So while this is a good start, we definitely need more transparency and accountability from the companies. And that's what product safety legislation would be about, is trying to make sure, yes, when you are making changes, there's evidence that it's actually helping.
Really good conversation. Dr. Rodesky, great to see you. Thank you so much.
You too. Thank you.
Let's get back to the White House's sweeping economic shakeup. Our top story, of course, global drug makers are feeling the pressure as President Trump touts a fresh set of pharmaceutical tariffs. CNBC's Silvana Henao has that in other Money News. Hey, Silvana, good morning.
Savannah, good morning to you. Yes, so shares of European and Indian drug makers are under pressure as President Trump says he plans to announce tariffs on all pharmaceutical imports without giving specific timing, though. Now, he does say that this will give companies an incentive to move operations to the U.S., but companies have raised concerns about the difficulty in setting up manufacturing here. The U.S. is the biggest market by sales for big pharma companies. India primarily makes generic drugs, with the U.S. accounting for 1/3 of all the country's exports. Instagram is beefing up its search function to compete better with TikTok. Insta's chief Adam Mosseri saying recently searching for specific content instead of an account isn't very good on the app. He also says Instagram aims to compete with TikTok with the recommended searches that appear at the top of the comment section. On TikTok, suggested searches are extracted from what people are talking about. And well, listen to this. If you own a Rolex, now may be a good time to think about selling it. Demand for used gold Rolexes is rising as gold prices soar and collectors seek fancier models. So gold is up more than 10% this year after posting its biggest annual increase in more than a decade last year. Rolex raised prices on some gold models earlier this year. President Trump's tariffs could impact Rolex as Switzerland is being hit with a 32% duty on exports, Savannah.
It's amazing how much more the used ones are than the new, but then you can't get the new, or it's like a whole...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Silvana, thanks so much. All right, well, a Minecraft movie is the #1 movie in America this morning. But get this, it's wreaking havoc in theaters from coast to coast. There's this viral trend where fans are throwing popcorn. Look at this video. This is in a theater. Jumping out of their seats, ripping their shirts off over a character called the Chicken Jockey. No idea what that means. The chaos got so out of hand in one theater that the police were called. NBC News correspondent Stephen Romo has the details.
Chicken Jockey! It's the scene in the new Minecraft movie that has young theater goers going absolutely insane. Chicken Jockey! Yes! Throwing popcorn, drinks, and silly string, ripping off their shirts, and in one instance, ending with police escorting them out of the theater. The movie moment causing that madness is known as the Chicken Jockey. Chicken Jockey! It happens during a scene where Jason Momoa's character squares off with a baby zombie riding a chicken. The Chicken Jockey has been a fan favorite among players of the video game since 2013.
Chickens found a way to defend themselves through an unexpected alliance. A chicken jockey. Chicken jockey!
Fans of the best-selling video game of all time ecstatic to see the rare character appear in the Universal Pictures movie adaptation, which hit theaters last Friday. The studio shares a parent company with NBC News.
It was like a tidal wave of popcorn.
College student Eric Ferrugia was at a screening in Long Island, New York, where the cops were called Nassau County Police say no arrests were made.
2 police officers walked in, and it was, you can hear a pin drop. Everyone initially thought it was just the workers again telling them to relax, so they were all kind of getting defensive, but as soon as the police officer showed up, everyone stopped.
One theater in Washington, New Jersey, now banning unaccompanied minors from the Minecraft movie. Writing on Facebook, a large group of unsupervised boys engaged in completely unacceptable behavior. Going on to say, if your son was at Township Theater Friday night, we strongly encourage you to have a conversation with him about his behavior. The trend reminiscent of the Gentle Minions phenomenon from 2022, where hordes of young people dressed in suits to watch Minions: The Rise of Gru in theaters.
Eyes to the center, please.
Despite the chicken jockey frenzy, or maybe in part because of it, the Minecraft movie pulling in nearly $163 million on opening weekend. The biggest domestic debut of the year and the best for a video game adaptation in history.
Don't worry! I'm gonna cushion our fall with this water bucket!
I had kids that were obsessed with Minecraft years before I heard about this movie. So I learned how to play the game because I love games. You're building things. It's architecture. It's the love and joy of creativity.
The love for the game clearly transferring over into the theater as fans flock to get their chicken jockey moment.
Chicken jockey!
Stephen Romo, NBC News.
Okay, chicken jockey, got it. Honestly, it looks fun. All right, coming up, a centennial celebration that Jay Gatsby himself would be proud of when we come back. A look at the American classic, The Great Gatsby, and how the novel helped shape history. Morning News Now, we'll be right back. We are ending the hour with a literary celebration, a century in the making. So tomorrow is going to mark exactly 100 years of a classic story that many people call the great American novel. It's The Great Gatsby, written by F. Scott Fitzgerald, published on April 10th, 1925. Maybe you wrote a paper on it in school, or maybe, of course, I bet you've seen one of the movies, plays, TV shows, or operas adapted from it. Well, our own Joe Fryer takes a look back at its storied history.
How do you picture Jay Gatsby, the character first introduced in F. Scott Fitzgerald's novel, The Great Gatsby?
How do you do, old sport? I'm Gatsby.
Is he the 70s version portrayed by Robert Redford, or the flashier form?
I'm Gatsby.
Brought to life by Leonardo DiCaprio and immortalized in a meme. There is something timeless about Gatsby, a mysterious millionaire who pined for an old flame named Daisy and who wanted to be part of the upper class, an obsession that inspired his jazz-age parties. Swanky soirees that are replicated today, bringing the 1920s to the 2020s. To quote the book, I like large parties. They're so intimate. The story even sparked a popular Broadway musical with Ryan McCartan playing Gatsby and Sarah Hyland starring as Daisy.
What about The Great Gatsby works as a musical, you think? There's this inherent grandiosity to it. I mean, F. Scott Fitzgerald's prose sings when you read it. So why not actually literally make them sing?
The audience is often filled with high school students seeing their required reading come to life.
Like, that has been such a beautiful wonder to behold. It's so amazing to see theater be brought into literature and English classes in high schools, and I think that that is a really special thing to have within this musical.
The F. Scott Fitzgerald Society is marking the book's 100th anniversary with weekly readings by celebrated authors like Jonathan Franzen. Jackson Breyer and Kirk Kernot are with the Society. They say the book's lessons about class and divisions that can't be bridged feel pertinent today. The wealthy are described as careless people. They smashed up things and creatures, Fitzgerald wrote, and let other people clean up the mess they had made. As for Gatsby, who dies in the story, 100 years later, he remains an enigma, even to college students.
The humanities majors always think Gatsby is this wonderful, heroic figure who has this impossible dream, and business majors say, how impractical. That's never going to work in this world.
So what's the right answer then, Jackson?
There is no answer, Joe. It depends on your point of view. I mean, I think all great literature ultimately tells you more about yourself than it tells you about the characters, because the characters never existed.
Yet 100 years later, those characters shine on like a bright green light.
What do you think Fitzgerald would make of the fact that The Great Gatsby has been made into movies and a musical on Broadway?
I think he would be immensely grateful that people got the novel, that there's so much interest in it. When Fitzgerald died in 1940, he felt like a failure. So I think that he would look back at this and sort of take gratitude in having the last laugh.
Okay, what a cool look back. Our thanks to Joe. Well, Gatsby is required reading, as it should be for many high school seniors across the country who are gearing up for prom season. We reached out to Pinterest. Look at this. They told us over time searches for the Gatsby outfit have increased 161%. And in the last year, searches for Gatsby prom gown have gone up by 423%. Wow, those are some serious numbers. Who doesn't love The Great Gatsby? And again, Joe, thank you so much for that. Well, that's going to do it for this hour of Morning News Now. Stay with us, though. The news continues right now. Good morning, and thanks so much for getting your Wednesday started with us. I'm Savannah Sellers. Joe's off today. Right now on Morning News Now, President Trump's escalating trade war entering a bold new chapter this morning. Overnight, another sweeping round of tariffs taking effect on more than 80 countries, including a massive 104% tax on goods made in China. Now the nation is punching back. We're watching your money in just a moment. Also this morning, America's measles crisis exploding from coast to coast. Cases nationwide already climbing past 600, double the number we saw in all of 2024. The race to get vaccinations up as the virus spreads. Plus, tooth and nail, the brewing battle among some of America's top health experts over fluoride in the nation's drinking water. Why Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. now wants it out of the supply, and how that might impact more than half of the population that gets it from the tap. And later in the hour, we are going one-on-one with one of the greatest players to ever grace the ice, Alex Ovechkin, after smashing a long-standing NHL record many said couldn't be broken. One of the greatest of all time. We're going to have him join us live. We're so excited. We're going to begin this hour, though, with President Trump's trade war hitting a new milestone. This is after sweeping new tariffs on dozens of countries did actually go into effect overnight. They include a huge 104% levy on Chinese imports. Well, this escalating trade war is expected to rock the global economy and ultimately send prices higher on everyday products. NBC News Chief White House correspondent Peter Alexander has the latest.
Good morning to you. That 104% tariff now in effect on all Chinese imports, among the largest the U.S. has ever slapped on any foreign country, as the president and his advisors say they're not going to budge unless China comes to the table. And the question this morning, when and by how much will the prices you pay on everything from TVs to toys start going up? This morning, an explosive new chapter in President Trump's escalating trade war as his sweeping new tariffs on nearly 90 countries, including almost all major U.S. trading partners, kick in.
I know what the hell I'm doing.
Despite rattled markets, recession fears, and prices predicted to rise for consumers, President Trump, in a speech to lawmakers, insisted he has things under control.
You know what I'm doing, too. That's why you vote for me.
After some White House officials initially said the tariffs were not a bargaining chip,
this is not a negotiation.
The president's message is now clear, boasting that nearly 70 trading partners are looking to make deals.
I'm telling you, these countries are calling us up, kissing my ass. They are dying to make a deal. Please, sir, make a deal.
While many Republicans still support the president's trade war, a growing number are now openly expressing anxiety about the tariffs.
Who pays these high tariffs? In the short, medium term, it will be the consumer.
After one Republican introduced a bill aiming to rein in the president's powers to levy tariffs, the president is telling them to back off.
You don't negotiate like I negotiate.
All of it amounting to widespread uncertainty, including for small business owners like Haley Pavoni, who runs a women's footwear company.
It kind of feels, honestly, like small businesses are being used as pawns or almost seen as collateral damage in this broader trade war.
The tariff turmoil even sparking a hostile public feud between two top Trump officials. Billionaire Elon Musk tearing into top trade advisor Peter Navarro, calling him a moron and dumber than a sack of bricks, after Navarro took a swipe at Musk on CNBC.
He's not a car manufacturer. He's a car assembler in many cases.
The White House brushing it off.
Boys will be boys, and we will let their public sparring continue.
President Trump in those new comments overnight, not just leaning into these tariffs, but promising more, specifically on pharmaceuticals, drugs that millions of Americans rely on, announcing that he will soon slap a major tariff on that industry's imports, predicting it'll lead drug companies to leave China and other countries, and in his words, come rushing back to the U.S. But of course, until that happens, it could cost American consumers more. Back to you.
All right, Peter, thank you very much. And China says it's hitting back against those U.S. tariffs by raising its tariffs on U.S. imports from 34% to 84%. That's starting tomorrow. Beijing accused the U.S. of, quote, bullying practices and added it was prepared to fight until the end if President Trump insists on a trade war. NBC News International correspondent Janice Mackey-Freyer has more reaction from Beijing.
President Trump's tariff blitz is threatening to upend a global trading system that has existed for years and puts China in the crosshairs. China is showing no sign of backing down, and neither is President Trump.
They want to make a deal. They really do. They want to make a deal. They just don't know how to get it started because they're proud people.
And so at midnight, U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods soared to 104% on everything from clothing and shoes to toys and tech. Costs that will be hard for factory owner Jeffy Ma to absorb.
Let's say for the average baseball hat, people are going to pay more.
Yeah, sure. That's the result.
Duties on other countries kicked in, too, a punishing 49% on Cambodia, 46% for Vietnam, key hubs for American companies like Nike, Lululemon, and Apple. Japan and South Korea are sending trade teams to the White House to seek relief. But no country is more targeted than China, long considered the world's factory. Beijing has retaliated with rounds of tariffs and restrictions of their own. President Trump overnight also tripling duties to 90% on small packages that help the rise of Chinese giants Shein and Temu. This is a massive distribution center that's being built just for Shein, over 5 million square feet. Cheap goods from China will cost U.S. consumers more for the things used in every American home. Target deals with 2,500 factories here, and 80% of all toys in the U.S. are made in China. China's Commerce Ministry said today the country has a firm will and abundant needs to fight a trade war with the U.S. The rift now considered a sensitive issue on Chinese social media, where hashtags using 104% have been censored. Chinese officials have raised tariffs to 84%. There's also a talk of a ban on Hollywood films here and possibly cutting off talks on fentanyl cooperation. Trade has long been a pillar in the U.S.-China relationship, and it's breaking, and neither side appears willing to budge.
All right, Janice, thank you very much. Well, now let's switch gears here and get to that growing measles outbreak across the country. At least 22 states now reporting cases, and a growing number of them are in very young children. NBC News correspondent Emily Aketa has more on what's driving this recent surge. Hey, Emily, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you, Savannah. We're just several months into the year, and we're now seeing more than double the number of measles cases recorded in all of 2024. New infections popping up in states like Indiana and Colorado, where an infant was just diagnosed. Experts say fueling the virus's spread, falling vaccination rates.
This morning, measles infections climbing from coast to coast, with more than 650 cases reported nationwide in 22 states and Washington, D.C., now impacting some of the most vulnerable. 3 more states reporting new cases, including children. In Colorado, a baby too young to be vaccinated was treated after getting measles on a trip to Mexico, according to health officials. In Hawaii and Indiana, unvaccinated children contracting the disease.
This
outbreak is still really impacting our young children.
And health officials speaking out in Texas, the epicenter of the measles crisis. The state reporting Tuesday that cases topped 500, including an outbreak at a daycare center in Lubbock, where health officials say an infected child spread the disease to multiple other kids. Officials warning of the spread among that vulnerable population.
We have children that are unvaccinated, so children under the age of 1 are in that facility. And then we also have children that have only received 1 vaccine.
2 children in the state have died so far, both unvaccinated with no known underlying health conditions. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. defending the government's response yesterday after a trip to Texas for one of the children's funerals. Kennedy has fueled vaccine skepticism, but recently started underscoring the MMR vaccine as the best tool against the virus.
Our strategy has been very successful.
Still, as fears grow nationwide, the CDC says the potentially deadly respiratory virus can survive in the air for 2 hours. It's so contagious, 90% of unvaccinated people will get infected if exposed.
We know that measles is completely preventable, and it's preventable through vaccinations.
And if you don't know your vaccination status, you can consider getting a blood test to look for measles antibodies. Though the CDC points out there is no harm in getting another dose of the MMR vaccine if you have immunity already. 1 dose is about 93% effective, Savannah, while 2 doses, as recommended, are 97% effective.
All right. Really good reminders and tips at the end there, Emily. Thank you so much. Well, spring, not so much in the air this morning. Definitely not here in New York City. Frosty temperatures are impacting the mid-Atlantic to the south. Let's get more details with your Morning News Now weather and our Angie Lastman. Hi, Angie.
Hi, Savannah. Good morning to you. Unfortunately for me, and I think a lot of others, we put our coats away, but we sure need them this morning. We have plenty of these frost and freeze alerts in effect across much of the eastern third of the country. We've got the Ohio Valley, parts of the southeast, and the mid-Atlantic included in those 56 million people waking up to some frosty conditions. Temperatures into the 20s in Detroit, feeling like 21 degrees in Detroit right now. We've got 33 for what it feels like in Cincinnati, the 30s for your feels like temperature in Washington, D.C., 23 degrees for your wind chill in New York City right now. And even as far south as Atlanta, temperatures feeling like those low 40s. So you get the picture. The cooler and chillier conditions are in place across the eastern third of the country. Big difference, though, if you look basically west of the Mississippi. We've got temperatures running way above normal, 10, 15, even 20 degrees above normal over the next couple of days, with the potential for some folks to see high 80s, if not 90s. Check out Phoenix later this afternoon, 96 degrees. That's a summer-like temperature, while folks across the country are dealing with those winter-like conditions. We've got record highs once again, likely as we get into tomorrow for the parts of the Southwest. Little Rock heads to the upper 70s. We've got upper 80s possible across Texas, even as far north as those plains, 66 degrees in Pierre. So you can see temperatures kind of starting to the warmer temperatures, I should say, starting to spread a little farther to the east as the end of the work week rolls around. And then we'll see a big difference in some spots as Sunday specifically heads our way. 64 degrees by Sunday in Chicago, 80s for Kansas City. We go from the low 50s on Friday and Saturday in Pittsburgh to the low 60s. And we've even got some 70s in the picture for Charlotte by the time we wrap up our weekend. We do have still the issues with the flooding. We know we received all of that rain, incredible amounts of rain last week from the system that we were tracking, and we're still dealing with the repercussions from that. Those river flood warnings are still up across much of this region, and for good reason. Today is basically the day that we're going to see the cresting of some of these rivers. So moderate, major flood stages, likely anywhere you see a pink dot as major flooding happening across parts of Mississippi, Ohio, Tennessee, and Arkansas rivers, river valleys. These are going to be like something that we'll see likely through Saturday in some of these spots, and then we'll start to see some major improvements. Big picture look for a couple of systems. It's much quieter than it was last week, but we do have a couple spots that we're going to watch kind of develop systems and work across parts of the Great Lakes. This is through today. You can see this pair of storm systems basically working across the Midwest. It does bring a little bit of rain and a little bit of snow for our friends across Ohio, Michigan, Illinois, Wisconsin. And then it's going to be on the move for tomorrow. And that means that parts of northern New England pick up a little bit of that cold rain and wet snow. Not ideal, but we've also got some strong storms to watch for. Just a marginal, or rather a slight risk expected from Memphis to Atlanta. We could see some of these stronger storms happening in these areas that dealt with all that flooding last week. By the time Friday rolls around, we finish out our work week across the Northeast with some rain in the picture. Heavy rain at that. We'll likely see some slower. I know.
Just gets better.
Bearer of bad
better.
news. Angie Lashman. New York to Raleigh. We'll see a little bit of that rain, Savannah, and that means probably slower travel if anyone's trying to get out on Friday and head somewhere else. And when it's all said and done, a couple of inches of rain. I know. This is kind of dampering my plans this weekend, too. So we'll see. I know. I didn't give you any good news that
Well, I just can't believe that it's just like actually, because yesterday it looked pretty. I know. Out my window in my office, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like so sunny. Feels like 23 or whatever it was.
And you stepped out the door. Rude awakening.
Like,
Me
enough
too.
already. Thanks a lot, Angie.
You're welcome.
All right, let's switch gears here. Brian Kohberger, he's the man accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students back in 2022, is expected to be back in court today. Kohberger's defense team and prosecutors will make their final case to the judge regarding a long list of evidence that may be admitted at the trial, which is set to begin in August. NBC News correspondent Liz Kreutz joins us with more on what we can expect today. Hi, Liz. Good morning.
Hey, Savannah, good morning. Yeah, as you know, we've been following the mountain of legal filings that's been piling up in this case, each side dissecting the evidence they're hoping to include or keep out of the trial, from text messages and phone calls to Brian Kohberger's alleged Amazon purchases and autism diagnosis. So today in this critical hearing, we could get some signals from the judge about which way he's leaning.
This morning, Brian Kohberger's attorney is expected to face off with prosecutors in court over what evidence may be used at his highly anticipated murder trial in August. Today's hearing likely his attorney's last chance to make their case before the judge after filing a flurry of motions containing more than 1,000 pages of arguments over the last several months. The legal team sparring over whether to allow text messages sent by the 2 surviving roommates as the alleged murders were happening, and this harrowing 911 call.
911 location of your emergency. Hi, something is happening. Something happened in our house. We don't know what.
That call made the morning of November 13th, 2022, when Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Gonzalez were found fatally stabbed in their home just outside the University of Idaho campus. Kohberger has maintained his innocence since he was charged with the murders after a nationwide manhunt. Ahead of his trial, testimony from one of the surviving roommates also in question. Investigators say she told them she saw a masked man in the house with only his bushy eyebrows visible.
She described seeing someone wearing all black, a mask with only a portion of their face.
Among the other evidence, Kohberger's defense is attempting to exclude Amazon records allegedly showing Kohberger purchased a black balaclava mask prosecutors say is similar to the one the victim's roommate described, and purchases for a K-bar knife and sheath, like the knife sheath found at the murder scene, which prosecutors say had DNA that matches Kohberger's. Meanwhile, Kohberger's lawyers arguing his autism diagnosis should keep prosecutors from seeking the death penalty, while signaling they may be preparing to keep their client off the witness stand. The father of victim Kaylee Gonzalez says the seemingly endless stream of filings and new revelations mean the gruesome murders are never out of mind.
It's like a slow torture where just a little comes out and a little more comes out.
Now, there's also the possibility of Kohberger's family testifying at trial. The state is asked to exclude them from the courtroom until after they potentially testify. Prosecutors are also arguing the judge should allow them to present a 3D model of the home where the murders took place. The defense arguing against it. And we could get some answers from the judge today. Although, Savannah, there is so much here that the hearings could continue into tomorrow.
Oh, it sure seems like a lot. Liz Kreutz, thank you very much. For more on the case, we're joined by NBC News legal analyst Danny Ceballos. Danny, good morning. Kind of just to pick up exactly on what Liz said, it almost just seems like there's so much that the defense is just trying to get anything they can thrown out, which I imagine is maybe a typical strategy. Maybe we're seeing this be a little bit more aggressive than usual. Some of it, though, I think if you're a viewer, you're watching, you're thinking, well, how could that possibly not be allowed? It seems directly related, like, for example, the 911 call. Walk us through that.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, it is our duty as defense attorneys to try absolutely everything that we can to try and throw out bad evidence. Okay. But even that being said, this defense has gone way beyond. And I'm not saying they've done anything wrong.
When you say bad evidence, you just mean evidence that implicates your client, or you mean evidence that you actually think is somehow unrelated or not fair to be included?
All of the above,
Okay.
right. Of course, whenever you try to suppress evidence, almost by definition, it's evidence that incriminates your client.
Okay.
But some of this other evidence they're saying either isn't relevant or isn't reliable. Those are legitimate grounds, but they have filed a prolific number of motions. And some of these motions, look, most of our motions, defense motions, are going to get denied. We're either making a record or just trying everything we can. But some of these motions border on hopeless. I mean, for example, 911 calls. 911 calls, as long as you have someone authenticate them, have come into evidence since the time when judges used rocks instead of gavels. All right? That kind of evidence has come in since time immemorial. Okay. The point is, you can try to exclude it, but it's going to come in. Evidence that a witness saw someone with bushy eyebrows. That's what eyewitnesses see. The defense says, well, it was brief, and she said she may have been pretty intoxicated at the time. Well, look, you take your eyewitness as you find them. There's no such thing as the perfect eyewitness. Eyewitnesses all have issues, and you can challenge their credibility on the stand. That's an issue for cross-examination. But the bushy eyebrows is coming in. Trying to exclude it is just not realistic.
Same with how are they kind of defending their decision to attempt to have something like records potentially either of searching or buying what they say was his mask? What was the murder weapon? How do they defend saying that those things shouldn't be included?
So the main argument there is that the evidence of things like Amazon searches or purchases, it may not be reliable, or really that the state hasn't produced enough evidence that this kind of data is reliable. But again, if you're betting, that evidence is likely going to come in. I mean, come on, you don't need to be a lawyer. You don't need to know the rules of evidence. Is it important is it legitimate for the prosecution to introduce evidence that he may have bought or searched for a balaclava or bought or searched for a knife that is exactly the same knife or knife evidence that they found at the scene?
There's also a selfie in question. What's with that?
So the argument with the selfie is that he took, there it is, you see it up there on the screen. The prosecution wants to introduce that selfie that was taken near or around the time of the killings. And the defense is saying, well, if you allow the evidence of the bushy eyebrows observed by the eyewitness, and by the way, the only reason bushy eyebrows were all that she saw is that the guy was wearing a balaclava. There's nothing else really to recognize except information about the eyes. So they're saying that, well, that's akin to saying bushy eyebrows, and then that picture, it's akin to the witness identifying him. And in fairness, the witness has never identified Kohberger. They're saying that this is an end run around an identification. It's a convoluted argument. Again, I appreciate they're trying everything they can, but that's a big, long shot. Most of these motions, look for them to be denied over the next couple days.
All right. You think it will take days?
Yes. Yeah, likely.
Yeah. Danny Savalas will obviously keep talking about this one with you. Thank you very much. There's much more to come on this hour of Morning News Now. A little later, the nationwide fight over fluoride as top Trump administration officials signal their support for taking it out of drinking water for millions of Americans. First, though, after the break, the desperate race against time for rescue crews in the Dominican Republic digging for survivors of that deadly roof collapse at a popular nightclub early yesterday morning. We have the latest on their efforts up next. We are back with new details on the deepening humanitarian crisis in Gaza as Israel's aid blockade to the enclave reaches 5 weeks. The Secretary General of the United Nations condemned the lack of aid on Tuesday, saying no food, fuel, medicine, or commercial supplies have entered the Gaza Strip since the collapse of Israel's temporary ceasefire with Hamas in early March.
As aid has dried up, the floodgates of water have reopened. Gaza is a killing field, and civilians are in an endless death loop.
NBC News International correspondent Raf Sanchez joins us from London with more on this. Raf, good morning. So tell us the latest that we know of on the ground and how groups are working to try to get aid in.
Savannah, good morning. The short version is that no aid is getting in. As you heard the Secretary General of the United Nations say, since Israel imposed that blockade back on March 2nd, no food, no medicine, no commercial goods, no fuel has made it into the Gaza Strip. Now, humanitarian groups, human rights groups, the UN is warning that this is a potential war crime on Israel's part. You simply cannot cut off food to the 2 million civilians in Gaza in order to put pressure on Hamas. Israel is saying that during those 6 weeks of the ceasefire, Hamas stockpiled a lot of the aid that was getting in. They haven't provided a whole lot of evidence for that. Israel is proposing some kind of mechanism where they effectively control the flow of aid in and out. The United Nations is saying that they won't be party to that because that is effectively choosing a side in this armed conflict. But the reality is food is beginning to run out in Gaza now. There was a little bit of a cushion, if you will, in those last 6 weeks when more aid was getting in, but or rather in the 6 weeks of the ceasefire. But for more than a month now, nothing has come in to replenish the supplies, and the desperation is mounting. Savannah.
Perhaps this also comes amid international calls to investigate an incident that we talked about at length on this show, the killings of 15 Palestinian Red Crescent staff members and aid workers by Israeli forces last month. There was some dispute over the account of exactly what happened, a story that came from Israel, but then that seemed to be not true based on video of the incident that was found. What is the latest there?
Yeah, that's right. So Israel initially told the world that this convoy of ambulances and medical vehicles had their lights off, that they were driving suspiciously. That turned out not to be true. Video released by the Palestinian Red Crescent shows that these ambulances had their red lights on as they were driving, and they were ambushed by Israeli forces. Now, the Israeli military is saying that the reason they put this false information out is that they were themselves given false information by soldiers on the ground. They are saying that this incident is still under investigation. Not clear if anyone is going to be held accountable either for providing that false information or for the shooting itself. But there has been a lot of condemnation worldwide over this large-scale killing of medical workers. Savannah.
Raph, also the State Department said yesterday that they were aware of another incident, a Palestinian American teenager killed by Israeli forces. This was in the occupied West Bank. Said they were seeking more information. What do we know?
Yeah, so this happened in a village called Termasaya. It's in the central West Bank. I've spent a lot of time there. A very large proportion of the people who live there are American citizens. Many of them have family in Chicago or other places. It is kind of a little American town in the middle of the West Bank, if you will. Now, Israel is saying that this young man, this boy, was throwing rocks at Israeli soldiers along with several others when they opened fire. People in the village are disputing that. You heard the State Department saying that they are seeking more information. It's not clear at this point if anyone's going to be held accountable.
All right, Raph Sanchez, appreciate it. Thank you very much. Well, the Dominican Republic is declaring a 3-day period of national mourning following a deadly roof collapse at a popular nightclub early Tuesday morning that killed dozens of people, ultimately injuring at least 160 others. NBC News correspondent Aaron McLaughlin has the latest on the recovery efforts from Santo Domingo.
Hey there. Well, the death toll now stands at 113, according to officials, and yet hope has not faded here outside the Jet Set nightclub. Behind me is the main entrance to the club. You can see through those doors debris from the roof collapse. You can also see that this is very much an active, ongoing search and rescue operation. They're searching for any potential survivors and waiting on that search on the other side of the club. Dozens have gathered, watching and listening for any signs of life. This morning, a desperate race against time as rescue crews continue to dig through the rubble of a popular Dominican Republic nightclub. Authorities there vowing to remain determined in the search, saying we will continue as long as there is a family member who reports that their loved one is in the rubble. First responders reporting hearing some sounds amid the debris, and relatives even receiving phone calls from victims trapped in the rubble, according to authorities. Families checking posted lists with names of the victims. One woman holding out hope for her niece, saying, we have faith that she will appear. The tragedy happening early Tuesday morning in the heart of Santo Domingo's National District. Videos capturing the moment the roof of the Jet Set nightclub caved in during the performance of singer Ruby Perez, who was killed. Officials also confirming the death of Nelcy Cruz, a governor in the DR who called the president of the Dominican Republic from under the rubble, according to the country's first lady. Also killed 2 former Major League players, according to officials. One-time Nationals first baseman Tony Blanco and relief pitcher Octavio Dotel, who was taken to the hospital, according to local reports, but did not survive. MLB teams paying tribute, with the commissioner sending heartfelt condolences in a statement, writing in part, "The connection between baseball and the Dominican Republic runs deep, and we are thinking of all the Dominican players and fans across the game." The Dominican Republic's president declaring 3 national days of mourning as a heartbroken nation prays for any signs of life. Jet Set nightclub released a statement saying, in part, it is collaborating fully and transparently with the relevant authorities to assist the victims and clarify what happened. Back in 2023, this nightclub actually caught fire. It was struck by lightning. Unclear if that fire had anything to do with the roof collapse. Also unclear when the nightclub was last inspected. Back to you.
All right, just such a tragedy, Erin. Thank you. Well, we are following other developing news this morning. This is out of Greece, where a nationwide strike is disrupting flights, ferries, and public services across the country. NBC's Matt Bodner has that and other world headlines. Hey, Matt, good morning.
Savannah, good morning. These strikes have crippled major forms of transportation, with ferries remaining in port, flights to and from the country grounded, and trains resting at stations. Greece's largest trade unions have organized for this protest, and they are demanding higher wages to match rising living costs. Greece historically has been one of the Eurozone's most troubled economies, but they've been doing relatively well since emerging from a decade-long debt crisis back in 2018. The government has been gradually increasing the minimum wage since then, in total 35% since 2019, but labor unions say it's not enough to match inflation and rising cost of living. Moving along now to the war in Ukraine, President Zelensky yesterday said Ukrainian forces captured 2 Chinese nationals fighting for the Russian army. He also said that Ukrainian intelligence believes the number of Chinese nationals fighting for Russia in Ukraine is, quote, much higher than 2. The Ukrainian Foreign Ministry has asked Beijing for an official explanation, and China's Foreign Ministry responded by saying the claim is, quote, totally unfounded, but that they are looking into it. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov, meanwhile, told reporters this morning he, quote, cannot comment on this at all. And we'll wrap up this hour right here in the UK. Universal has unveiled plans to open a multi-billion-dollar theme park. It will actually be the first Universal park in Europe. The site for this new park is a former brickworks near the town of Bedford. That's about 50 miles north of London. Prime Minister Keir Starmer celebrated the announcement as a means of creating jobs and driving growth in the region. The park is set to open in 2031. It'll span almost 500 acres, and it will come complete with a 500-bed hotel, as well as restaurants and retail venues. Universal is owned by NBC News' parent company, Comcast. Back to you. All right, Matt Bodner. Pretty exciting. Thank you so much. Well, coming up, he is one of the greatest hockey players to ever grace the ice. And now, Alex Ovechkin holds another title, the NHL's goal-scoring king. We're going to go one-on-one with the GOAT himself on the heels of that record-smashing performance over the weekend. That's next. Welcome back. This is very exciting. Well, you know the saying, records are meant to be broken. Well, even hockey icon Wayne Gretzky doesn't think NHL's newest goal-scoring king will be dethroned. This past Sunday, Washington Capitals legend Alex Ovechkin made history when he scored a jaw-dropping 895th career goal to surpass the great one for the most in NHL history. It was once one of the great records in sports that many actually said was unbreakable. Well, after 20 seasons and nearly 1,500 games, the 39-year-old Russian scored that historic goal in front of Gretzky himself. It's a legacy-defining moment for one of the greatest of all time, and one that hockey fans may never see again. And we are so lucky to be joined by Washington Capitals captain and NHL's new goal-scoring king, Alex Ovechkin himself. Alex, good morning. We so appreciate your time this morning. Can't tell you how excited we are to have you with us. And we know the NHL was calling it the Great Chase. So many people, as we just said, believe this to be unbreakable. You obviously went into this game that night knowing it could happen that night. So what did you think from that moment when it did happen? Did it feel like a weight off your shoulders?
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Yeah, all the attention was around this record. Yeah, it was kind of relief, happiness for organization, for fans, for my family, and you know, it was a tremendous moment.
Absolutely. I'm going to ask about your family in just a sec, but you scored the goal from a spot on the ice. Fans of yours will know, hockey fans will know, it's known as Ovechkin's office, the Ovi spot. It's the top of the left face-off circle. You've actually scored 285 goals from there, which is amazing. Can you tell us, like, what is it about this location? What advantage does it give you? And did it feel kind of fitting to you that that was the spot that you broke the record from?
Obviously I feel comfortable out there, and all of my teammates who on the ice knows if it's 5-on-4 or 5-on-3, I'm there, and all the 5 guys work to find me. So my job to finish it. So this is my spot.
You mentioned your family. You were joined by your mom, your wife, your kids on the ice during this ceremony to celebrate the goal, an incredible ceremony put together right after it happened. What did it mean to share that moment with them? How important are they to your success?
Without them, obviously, without my mom, without my wife, kids, that support what I have, wouldn't happen, and I'm thankful for them, for their support. Obviously, my teammates as well, and it's crazy, and I still can't believe it happened. But right now we have to move on. We have 5 games left, and playoffs start. So.
Spoken like a true competitor. Time to move on when we all want to talk about your accomplishments. Just quickly, last question specifically on that is just, did you think it was unbreakable, or did you kind of always know you'd get there?
No. Even before this year, I have 39 years old, I have to score 42, and break my leg during the year. Coming back. And still, I have to score 20 goals. So, thanks all my teammates for that support. Without them, I would never reach it.
All right, now let's look ahead. Let's move on like you asked. Your 20th season, you set this new standard. What does it feel like now? Like, what's next to achieve in the remainder of your NHL career? What are you hoping for next season?
Enjoy the game. Try to do my best on the ice, and then we'll see how we end up.
Okay, before you go, I want to ask you about a cause that you care about deeply off the ice, and you're doing some pretty incredible work here. Hockey fans, well, we've been focused on this hunt for the goal. You've been just as committed to raising money specifically for childhood cancer research. It's called the Great Chase for Victory Over Cancer. Tell us what brought you to this cause, why it means so much to you, and the impact that you want to have with your fund, and the work that I know that you're doing, how much you're donating each time something happens this upcoming season.
With all this attention, all those noises, we decided to join the foundation to raise as much money as we can to help kids, because it's very important that we have that opportunity to help, and I think we have to use it, and for a good cause.
Absolutely. Alex Ovechkin, Alexander the Great, thank you so much for joining us today. Congratulations on this record. It's just incredible. Good luck the rest of the season. You're so much fun to watch.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Coming up, as Americans start to stockpile goods in the face of some shaky economic ground, what should you buy now to avoid higher price tags? And what should you not stockpile, not hoard? We're watching your wallet. That's up next. We are back now with a closer look at the growing number of Americans who are starting to stockpile goods as anxiety over rising prices and potential shortages reach new levels. NBC News business and data correspondent Brian Chung is here with more. Brian, we're told not to hoard things, but we do know this impending price sort of ballooning is coming. Tell us what to know.
Yeah, well, Savannah, a lot of people are worried, and it's bringing back all these memories of 2020 where people were hoarding, right? But there's a recent survey that said that roughly half of consumers are stockpiling goods. Food, household essentials are on the top of their list. So we took a look at what's worth stashing and what might be worth the wait.
This morning, some Americans are playing a game of chicken with prices.
If you got an Amazon order waiting in your cart, just go ahead and buy it.
Wait too long, those shoes you've been eyeing could get 18% more expensive. And that sweater you had in your cart, 17% pricier. And with 104% tariffs hitting China overnight, smartphone prices could also soar, with one estimate predicting an iPhone 16 Pro Max, already $1,200, could jump by another $350.
When I first thought about it, I had that initial wave of panic.
Marissa Hibbert stocked up on cosmetics, many made abroad. Tell me about what you bought ahead of the tariffs taking effect.
I really decided to make the deliberate decision to stock up on what is most meaningful to my day-to-day life. So that means facial cleanser, skincare, moisturizers, sunscreen, all the things that we need before we walk out the house in the beginning of the day.
Because it could get more expensive.
Because it absolutely could get more expensive.
Americans are hitting the store for basic necessities too.
Take a trip to Costco. Get some emergency supplies. Stock up on some things.
Even billionaires like Mark Cuban say it's time to buy necessities from toothpaste to soap, bringing back memories of the toilet paper stashing during the pandemic.
I need to understand why.
Stocking up before tariff-driven prices isn't a bad idea, especially for products like coffee and rice, which are largely not made in the U.S. But experts warn, keep your cool. Try to buy only what you need for groceries.
I think the thing to try to avoid is sort of panic buying and sweeping down the aisle and just putting in everything, whether you need it or not.
All right, Brian, you mentioned electronics could be one of those things, but I think it's kind of like if you need a new phone, go get a new phone. But what else is good now and not so good now?
Yeah, well, electronics, and because it's that 104% tariff on
Right.
China, because China makes so much of those electronics. In fact, prices could go up by $200 to $300 for some smartphones and tablets and whatnot. Toys are another category. I know people don't want to be thinking about starting their holiday shopping in April, but if you think about toys also majorly manufactured in China, those
You know what's
could get
going to
more.
happen, though? You're going to buy it now. You're going to lose it. You're going to forget about it. And you're going to have to buy it twice.
Right. Or you're going to look in your closet in January and be like, oh, I forgot to gift wrap that. Oh, that was totally the Christmas gift. But look, again, it could be some real savings if you decide to buy now before when those prices go up later on this year. But I think the one thing to maybe hold off on and just really think twice about, cars and appliances. Those are big ticket items. Budgeting is more important than ever in this type of environment. But even, car dealers that we spoke to said the prices might increase on those, but it could be a few weeks because they can sell through the inventory that they have on the lot already right now without raising prices. So just make sure that you're not panic buying anything. That's a really big major expenditure.
True, because you're going to need to save. Brian, thank you so much. All right, let's stay on money news. Microsoft is back on the throne as the world's most valuable public company. CNBC's Silvana Henao has that other Wall Street news for us. Hey, Silvana.
Hey, Savannah, good morning to you. So the race for the crown as the world's most valuable company is back on. Microsoft moving ahead of Apple at yesterday's market close following the 23% rout in Apple's shares over the past 4 sessions. But they're neck and neck today. Apple is getting hit the hardest of all the biggest tech companies because of its reliance on China for making its products. Analysts at UBS projecting the price of the iPhone 16 Pro Max could jump as much as $350 due to the impact of tariffs. Nearly 2/3 of adults with credit card debt have delayed or avoided other financial decisions because of their debt. So a new Bankrate survey finds the most commonly delayed decision is creating an emergency savings fund, while others have delayed spending on health care or wellness. Now, when it comes to decisions such as making a big purchase, taking a vacation, or looking for a new job, about 60% say their credit card debt has a significant impact on their choices. And Cinnabon is about to get even sweeter. Go-To Foods, which owns the chain, is combining Cinnabon with its Carvel ice cream brand into a new restaurant concept called Cinnabon Swirl. Now, it plans to open 30 locations, starting with one in Oregon in May. Signature menu items will include the Bonini, that's a Cinnabon with Carvel soft serve. And Go-To is hoping that this new restaurant will draw customers in as mall foot traffic has slowed and traditional food courts disappear. Savannah, that sounds delicious.
Oh, wow, it does. It does. It does.
Yeah.
Thanks, Savannah.
Yeah.
Well, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says he is planning to direct the CDC to stop recommending fluoride in U.S. drinking water. It comes as the EPA director says the agency is looking into, quote, new scientific information on the potential health risks of fluoride. Now, the move could have a major impact because more than half of the U.S. population population gets that in their drinking water, according to the CDC, which helps prevent tooth decay. NBC News medical contributor Dr. Kavita Patel joins us with more on this. Dr. Patel, good morning. Great to see you. So with so many Americans consuming fluoride on a daily basis, what is important for people to understand about its purpose, about why it's there in the first place?
Yeah, Savannah, we started fluoridating water in 1945 in the United States, and we did it because it does three things. It helps with the mineralization. It kind of gives you this protective layer of enamel on your tooth. That, in turn, helps to kind of minimize dental caries, or cavities as we know it. And it can also just promote overall tooth health. So it has shown study over study to be kind of beneficial both for health and cost savings that could prevent visits to the dentist for tooth decay.
So what could happen if fluoride is removed from the country's drinking water?
We've seen these kind of natural experiments, Savannah, in different parts of the United States. So there have been parts of the U.S. and different states, in Oregon, for example, where they've stopped fluoridation. And over time, what they've seen is an increase in both children and adults presenting to dentists with tooth decay. So there's been a very clear link in fluoridation and healthy teeth. I suspect it won't be immediate, though, Savannah. It'll take years. So we'll see that effect probably well after this administration, but more visits to the dentist and unfortunately more health consequences of tooth decay.
So the EPA says it's investigating new information about the potential health risks of consuming fluoride. Right. I feel like this is one of those topics that is just so ripe for misinformation, ripe for virality online, right. The good of it, the bad of it, something we've been doing for a long time. What is it doing to us? What are the risks that we know to be true and how likely it is that they are to happen?
Right. And that's a great point you bring up. So we know that everything that is kind of not naturally necessarily kind of occurring in our bodies can have some risk. You can have too much of a good thing. So fluoridation, and it can vary in the states. Minnesota has 95% coverage of fluoride. Hawaii, about 8% of the population covered with fluoride. If you have too much fluoridation, so you get fluoride in your water, and then you might be ingesting or getting additional fluoride treatments or fluoride in your diet, Savannah, that can lead sometimes, very rarely, but it can lead to thyroid disorders. It can lead to what's called fluorosis or staining of the teeth. I've seen it clinically when people are ingesting large amounts of fluoride. But for the most part, there really is no kind of risk of taking too much fluoride, especially if you're under the guidance of local health and water officials and your dentist. And this has been the role the CDC has played. They've worked with local agencies to make sure that water is tested and that there isn't, quote unquote, too much fluoride. But I agree. There is literature that shows that too much fluoride can lead to some health consequences. We just have not had that present on a mass effect in the United States.
So we know Utah is the only state at this point that's banned fluoride from its public water systems, but more states could follow suit. So if something like this happens, if there's this change to your water, is there something that people should do instead, like ways that you should either be treating your water or sort of filling in that lack of fluoride that you were getting with something else? Is it kind of the same way that, you know, our water's not treated with a whole bunch of stuff that maybe we should be getting, but we're not via our water or otherwise, and you got to find ways to supplement?
Yeah, it's a great question. I do recommend, this is something that I think dentists are not only on the front lines of, but they're hyper vigilant about. I know that when I started taking my own kids to their dentist, that, you know, the dentist would talk to us about fluoride treatments and kind of why, even though we live in a fluoridated area, why she thought that was necessary. So I think that's really the best first point of conversation. And then I do think it's worth just educating yourself. You can get fluoride in your diet, so you can actually eat some foods and also have, like in dairy, for example, some fluoride supplementation. First point of contact, though, start with a local dentist and get some of that information.
All right, Dr. Kavita Patel, really good one, a huge talker. I've seen this pop up on TikTok all over the place. We appreciate you coming.
Yeah. Thank you.
Coming up, we are back on the ice with one organization's mission to bring the rush of hockey to hundreds of kids across Harlem, all for free. That's next on Morning News Now. Finally, this morning, we are hitting the ice with a look at an organization that's been helping hundreds of kids play hockey here in New York, all for free. For nearly 40 years now, Ice Hockey of Harlem has given boys and girls from all backgrounds the opportunity to play the sport while also pushing them to succeed in the classroom. NBC News Now anchor Morgan Radford sat down with the executive director.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.